I have a column in the Indian Express currently, which is called Summer of Discontent, where I talk about very serious issues with my trademark humor and lightness of touch. If I wanted to sit down and take a year out of my life, I wanted to create something wholly original, which was a figment of my imagination, and that really was this. I wanted to tell the story of a Bollywood film star, a young, struggling Bollywood actor, and who's in his father's shadow, and then this drug-addled multi-billionaire playboy from London, and how their worlds collide and how they collide, and the women in their lives and the crazy characters that exist, and really use that as a backdrop to telling a social story. I talk about river water pollution, I talk about media, I talk about various important issues, but I couch it in humor, I couch it in an entertaining, highly palatable, hopefully page turner fashion. And so, in a sense, I am, addressing certain things that are important to me as well. Absolutely, there's always structure. There's that should be vital. I've always worked with a template, and things. But this is the wonderful thing about literature and writing, that despite everything else, your character will suddenly wake up one day from the page and say, "Sorry, I'm not going to do what you told me to do. I'm going to do this." And then the fun of writing is to allow that character to do what he wants to do, and take the plot. So it's as much a journey for me as it is for my reader, when your characters take over and start to do things. But yeah, structure is important, and then the idea is to let have lots of fun with it. Well, I'll let you into a little secret. Scandal Point is the first of a trilogy, and the second novel in this series, the sequel if you like, is called Flashpoint, and that's a darker novel, but it's still set in the world of glamour and high society, and at the same time it just gives you a very, very in-depth, behind-the-scenes look at this world. So that's the second one, and then the third one we shall see. That's still a twinkle in my eye. I think that basically cinema and literature are complement each other, but they're two entirely different beasts. And very, very, very few films in the history of Bollywood and Hollywood have actually been able to transliterate from the written word to celluloid. And I mean, you would say A Room with a View, for instance, was a superior film to the original book by E.M. Forster. And similarly, there are a few such books that the films have been superior. Obviously, when you have 3, 4, 5, 700 pages in order to flesh out something, to distill it into 90 minutes, 120 minutes, is a totally different discipline, and you lose out so much nuance, detail, and therefore a great film will be able to give you those insights, while of course looking at the physical aspects of mise-en-scène, character, plot, all those things. But the internal dialogue and the internal processes, really, how can it be an easy job for anyone to bring that on screen? Well, that's a great question, because it's such a wicked book, and it's that I need a really wicked director to do justice to it. I can think of a Karan Johar straight away, because I know he has a really, really outrageous sense of humor. At the same time, he's a highly intelligent guy. Dibakar Banerjee is another fellow who has a wonderful sense of not only cinema but also sense of humor. And like that, there are a lot of young directors who are established and who have a great command of an understanding of fiction, and at the same time of cinema. And I think really Scandal Point lends itself, because it is that roller coaster non-stop masala film in a sense. Perseverance. I think rejection is in any profession, whether it's Bollywood, or any profession. You will get rejected, and then you have to understand that you can't be disheartened. You have to soldier on, and I was very lucky. After being rejected by 3, 4 publishing houses, I found myself a literary agent who just believed in me, and then she just guided me, handheld me through that process. And then suddenly there was a bidding war for my novel. I had all the top publishing houses wanting to sign me on, and it was a phenomenal feeling. So that whole journey of rejection to success, even to see your book in print, I mean, that exhilaration, it's like a young struggling filmmaker to see his film, even if it gets a release in a single screen somewhere. It's a phenomenal feeling.